Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be doing a first Easter card. Since it's at the end of the month, I just wanted to share a few with you. On this one, this is by Stampin' Bella, and I think it's Bunny Hopabella, that's what it says. And I'm just inking her up with the My Favorite Things hybrid ink. And after I lay that down, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. What we're going to be doing is using watercolors and a few Inktense pencils. And the first thing I want to show you, actually, I'm getting out by Amy R. And this is her Easter stamps. And I just put them to the side. I wanted to have it out so that way when we were done coloring, we'll be able to do our sentiment. So my favorite part about Easter, of course, is that I can color almost everything in pink and get away with it. Love, love, love. So I'm just laying down my watercolor pencil, and then I'm using the Prima water brush pen. Now I will say, this pen, I have very little water in it, but the water comes out like nobody's business. So I would definitely suggest, if you're using it, to have like a paper towel or a tissue, something around, so that way you can try and contain the water, you know, so that way it's not too wet, because this isn't watercolor paper. So really all I'm wanting to do is just kind of lightly move some of the color around, but not have it saturated to the point where it's gonna buckle or peel the paper, you know. So you just want to be careful. So after we did the bodysuit and then the boots, I'm just going to color in the bucket here, and I decided to do that with lavender. Just a little bit of water to bring it around, and then I use the tissue to dab off. And then for the eggs in the basket, I decided to use some of the Inktense because I wanted very vibrant eggs, you know, peeking out of this bucket. So we got yellows, orange, red. I think I do a blue and a green. You know, definitely, you know, something to keep it vibrant. That's the one thing I like about the Inktense pencils. And on the eggs, because they're such small sections, I didn't use any water from the brush pen. So now with this one, all I'm doing is lightly coloring down, putting some color along the hair. With this particular type of sketch, you don't have to, you know, fret over the hair. It's kind of drawn to be loose and kind of messy. Not messy, but just, it's not rocket science, so you don't have to worry about it as much. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking through, trying to find on one of the watercolors that I have, they have what's called flesh tone. So that's what I was looking for, just so that I could color in her legs, her face, and everything, and have that part be done. I didn't worry about the arms, since it's just the arm sketched. It really didn't need any color on it. And then what I did here is I went and got my stickles, because I already had in my mind that especially all the areas that were white, like the bunny tail, the ears, I would use the stickles to, you know, make those pop. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was looking for the gray. I couldn't find a gray in my watercolor, so I had to look for, I think it's like a charcoal gray in the Inktense, and I just laid that down a little bit. And then once that's down, we'll use the brush to wet it and smooth it out. And now I'm reaching for the stickles. We're going to zoom out. Do I zoom out a little bit? Lord, I can't even remember what I just did, and I literally just videotaped it. I'm sorry, you guys. But here we are, we're adding on the stickles finally. But I realized I made a slight boo-boo, because though I did want to use the stickles, I should have put the card together first and then put the stickles on. That way it was done. It could take all the time in the world to dry. And even though I did put a thin layer on it, I still have to wait for it to dry before I can attach it. And then after I did the ears, her body, just a little bit on the body, of course the ponytail and her boots, then I put a little bit on the pail as well. So after waiting for it to dry, what I did was I decided to go ahead and do the sentiment stamp, which I decided to put Easter blessings. And sometimes for me, I do have to kind of lay stuff out, see if it's going to fit, if it's too big. That particular sentiment was too big, so that's why I went with the Easter blessings, because with the size of the card, it just fit perfectly in the spot that I'm trying to put it. So once we get it attached to the block, I got it inked up with some VersaFine Black Onyx ink. And there's our sentiment. And I put it to the side just so that it could, you know, dry while I was finishing up the card. So right at this point, my ATG gun ran out of tape. So I'm going to pause here and then fill the tape back up. Once it's filled back up, we'll get started again. Alright, so once I have it laid down with the tape, I'm going to just, I want it like 1/8 of an inch kind of around this particular pattern piece. And then we're going to put tape around the scalloped piece that I have right here. And at this point, there's going to be a little bit of break again because, like I said, I had to wait for it to dry. And once it was dry, I'm showing you the stickles again, I just put dimensionals on the back and we're going to layer down. Now, instead of doing sequins on this card, I decided that I just wanted to add a little bit of bling. So what I did was, on this particular sheet, I have the large, medium and small. So I grabbed one of the large blings, then the medium, and then the small. And then once you have it on, the card is done. And there you have it. A super simple and quick Easter card. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below. If you have any comments, please just, leave it for me. If you want to see some info on the ATG gun, on loading it, whatever concerns or, questions that you guys may have, and that way I can take a look at maybe doing a video for you. Thank you so much again, and have a great day.